Welcome to week 13, the summer 2022 Bible Studies for Life. We're at the end of this quarter and excited about that. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for following along with us all through this time. Be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share it with others. We start next week. I think we're going through the book of James, I think is where Bible Studies for Life heads next week. So looking forward to that. But we're going to finish up strong with John chapter 1 today. It says, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the two who heard John and followed him. This is John the Baptist. He first found his own brother Simon and told him, "We have found the Messiah," which is translated the Christ. And he brought Simon to Jesus. When Jesus saw him, he said, "You are Simon, son of John. You will be called Cephas," which is translated Peter. Okay, so he brings, Andrew hears about this, right? He hears what's going on. He hears John saying that, and he follows after Jesus. And I love this because this word, he first found his own brother. The first thing he did is he went to go find his brother Peter, and Simon, as he called him, and Jesus calls him Peter, right? Rock. He says, "We found the Messiah." He goes and he finds somebody else and he brings him in. Often when you see Andrew show up in the Gospels, Andrew's bringing somebody to Jesus. It's what he does all the time. Here he begins, our introduction to Andrew is him bringing Simon. The first person that he brings to Jesus is his own brother. And he brings him and says, "We found the Messiah." He doesn't have a long message for him. It's not a drawn out message. It's not a complicated message. He just says, "Look, we found the Messiah," and he brings him. Okay, I love this Matt Queen, who is an evangelism guy with the Southern Baptist of Texas, with Southwestern Seminary. Great guy, and I love one thing he says. He says, people worry, I don't know enough of the gospel to share with others. Well, listen, if you don't know enough of the gospel to share it with somebody, then you probably don't know enough of the gospel to be saved yourself, which is an interesting thought, isn't it? You need to know, the gospel. If you're already a believer, you know the gospel. At least you know enough of it to tell somebody else. All Andrew knew is Jesus is the Messiah, and that's what he shared. And here comes Simon Peter after him. He follows after. Okay. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. He found Philip and told him, "Follow me." Now, Philip was from Bethsaida, the hometown of Andrew and Peter. Probably friends, right? Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and so did the prophets, Jesus, the son of Joseph from Nazareth." Now, here's Philip. First thing Philip does, he goes and he finds Nathanael. He goes and finds somebody. Look at the people that Jesus is calling. The people that he's calling go and find other people to come and follow Jesus. They're actively evangelists, and they don't even know it because they're not thinking of themselves as evangelists. They're thinking of themselves as friends, as brothers. Right? I'm going to go find my friend. I'm going to go find my brother. He needs to know this. Nathanael needs to know about this, right? And he finds him and he says, not complicated again, right? "We found the one Moses wrote about in the law, Jesus, the son of Joseph from Nazareth." We found him. And his name is Jesus. He's from Nazareth. And this is great. "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" Nathanael asked him. "Seriously? Anything from Nazareth? You know that town? That's a podunk town. Ain't nothing good coming out of Nazareth." "Come and see," Philip answered. Just come and see. This is just the invitation. I'm just inviting you. Just come and see. Just you don't have to follow him. Just come and see. You don't have to believe him. Just come and see. What a great invitation. Just come and see. Listen, you can start your evangelism by just inviting people to your church. Hey, just come and see. Now, I'm not inviting you to come be a member of my church. I want you to know about Jesus. So why don't you come to my church and you'll find out, okay? It's not complicated. It's not really difficult. People are waiting for an invitation. Many people are just waiting for an invitation. Let me tell you, a lot of people don't even know what goes on in that church, and they're a little bit scared of it. Come and see. Just come and see. Come with me. I'll take you. You sit with me. Come and sit with me. We'll sit together. I'll tell you what's happening. I'll walk you through it. I'll let you know what's going on. I'll introduce you to some other people. You'll find out we're not too weird. A little bit, but not too weird. Come and see. Then Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him. Nathanael says, "All right, I'll come and see." And he said this about him: "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. What a statement to make about Nathanael. Here's a guy in whom there is no deceit. You know what I think that, here's what way I take that. Here's a guy that you get what you see. That when you look at him, when you hear him, he just says what he thinks. It's all right here on the surface. There's nothing hidden. There's no other agendas. There's no hypocrisy. He is just who he is. And he's just not deceitful. He's not somebody that's trying to be somebody he's not. He's not somebody trying to get some people to do things they don't want to do. He's just who he is. So he's the kind of guy that when he hears I'm from Nazareth would say, nothing good ever come out of Nazareth, because he just says what he thinks. How do you know me? Nathanael asked. How do you know about me? What's that? And before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you, Jesus answered. I saw you. I know you. Did he really see him, or did he see him, because he's God? Rabbi, Nathanael replied, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel. Nathanael hears the call. Now, I want you to know something about this, okay? These men, this was not their first encounter with Jesus. For most of them, they had heard Jesus talking. They had been around. Many of them had been followers of John the Baptist. So they had heard John the Baptist giving his testimony about him. They maybe even had seen him be baptized, some of them. And so they've had some exposure to Jesus. But here, clearly, the conversation that he has, listen, if I could just get you in the room with Jesus, right? If I could just get you in the room with Jesus, that's basically what they're saying. Well, isn't that still true today? If we could just get people in the same room as Jesus, if we could just get them in the same room with the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the King of all kings, the King of Israel, the God himself, if we could just get them in the room with him, he would take care of the rest, right? He'll do the rest. Now, most of us are not even willing to invite people to come to the room, right? You just believe if they just got them close, right, where Jesus could have some impact on their life. If I could just introduce you somehow, and listen, part of the way that we have to treat our neighbor, this is the context of the lesson, right, is we've got to introduce them to Christ. They need to hear about who Jesus is. And there are so many ideas about the church and so many ideas about Jesus and about God and all of that. We need to introduce people to the real Jesus. Here's what I believe. I believe that in a competition for the hearts and minds of 21st century men and women, I believe that Jesus wins. I'm not afraid to put Jesus into the marketplace of ideas and let's just have it out and see who's the winner here. I believe Jesus wins. Do not be afraid or ashamed to put Jesus into that arena and allow him to just be who he is. Get them in the room with him and let him be God. That's all you have to do, and he'll win, right? He'll win. Over and over and over again, he'll win. Be a person that goes out and talks to people about Christ and wins them to salvation, because Jesus is just so good. He's just that good. Hey, I hope that's helped. Lead your class to start praying and committing to sharing the gospel, to bringing people to salvation. We cannot just be about ourselves. We can't. If we're going to love our neighbor, we're going to have to share the gospel with them. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share it with others. We're headed to 800. Hopefully we'll be there by the time this video airs. We'll be at 800, hopefully. And we're headed into the fall next week. All right, we'll see you then.